human, but rather divine. So they get some kind of divine power, right? Granted to Peter by a divine word, and reaffirmed to him, Peter, and his successors by the one whom Peter confessed, the Lord, saying to Peter himself, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound also in heaven, etc. Right? Therefore, whoever resists this power, thus ordained by God, resists the ordinance of God. Furthermore, we declare, we proclaim, we define that it is absolutely necessary for salvation that every human creature be subject to the Roman pontiff. Did you know that here in this quote? Every human being should be subjected to this Roman pontiff. And I am saying for salvation, right? And I am saying, do you think that the Catholic Church has repented of that? They have not. God has given unto us a little break from them so that we can learn the truth. Unlearn all the deceptions that they put in our minds for centuries. The pure, straight, plain truth have to come back and be revived. Right? So that we can see clearly. When I was a Roman Catholic, I thought all religions were serving God. I really thought so. Until I understand clearly that they are not, all religions really don't serve God. God has one church. It is one faith. And it is one church that God has. Right? And if it is that all the rest out there, all of them together are serving the devil. Plain and straight. Not so, brethren? All of them out there are serving the devil. And the Roman Catholic Church, pronto, they are the mother of all of them. And all of them are just daughters having, sprinkling things from inside of there. But the claim of the spiritual power, brethren, the spiritual reign of the Pope, successor of Peter, right? You see that? The vicar of Christ, a substitute Christ, has divine powers to rule the church. And all must be subjected to the church for salvation. Let us look at the text that they so quote to see what this text is really saying, right? Let's look at it quickly. We have John 21:17, and then we have Matthew 16:19, right? John 21, yes.
You might know these things here, but for the strangers that is here and so on, you can understand how you can say something that, all these churches serving the devil.
Right.
Can you explain those things more to us, please?
Yes. But when I say all the churches out there is serving the devil, the Bible identifies that there is only one church, right? And that one church is they who keep the commandments of God, right? And have the faith of Jesus Christ, true, right? So therefore, if you do not, basically, the churches out there do not have the faith of Jesus Christ. They don't even know what is faith. They think faith is believing, right? But you know it's not so. Faith is the word of God, right? Then they have a lot of other sprinkling things that they get from the Roman Catholic Church, like the eternal soul, which is what Satan himself told Eve that in transgression she will become a god, you understand, and in dying she will not die. Okay? So you have these teachings there that these other churches have. And that came straight from Genesis chapter 3, when the devil spoke to Eve and told her that she will not die. Right? So you could safely say, based upon examining their doctrines, their teachings, it is not teachings of the Bible. Right? It is not teachings of the Bible, right? It is teachings that the devil himself has inspired them with. Okay?
Also, Christ said, like, my sheep hear my voice and follow me. And he said also, right, other sheep which is not of this fold, right, they will hear and come. Meaning, there are sincere people in those religions. But when they hear the truth, they will not stay in that religion. They will come out of that religion and join the true church. So the true church is independent of those false religions. This is why the Bible says, come out of Babylon, my people.
Amen.
The coming out of Babylon, it means the gospel would reach these people, the Hindu, the Buddhists, all those people with their religious belief which is false, and will come to acknowledge the truth. You understand? So the truth will lead them in whatever religion they are, and the sincere ones will come out and acknowledge and join in support of the truth. Right? So it does not mean, right, that, right, being in the false religion means that no hope for them, but they are in a lost state. And it's only when the truth comes to them, right? This is why the Bible says, and this gospel. Why the Bible specify this gospel? Because everybody don't have it. And one of the main tenets in preaching is the doctrine of sin-freeness.
Amen.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when this gospel is preached, and these people here, you call it plenty people that you meet in all those religions, they can be sin-free. Even though they're using the Bible, they say no. They tell them no pronto. You understand? So when they get the truth, right, then they will acknowledge, yes, this is really, you understand? You're really preaching the meat in due season, the pure truth for this time. So that's how it will be done. And
Yes, Brother Troy, and then I'll go with the camera, and somebody else in that. Brother Clayton, Brother Clayton.
All right, morning, brethren. Blessings have been recently. I just want to quickly quote one scripture to substantiate the point in terms of there has to be a true church, right? And I'm going to be quoting Jesus. So many persons will say they're quoting this one and this one. I'm quoting the Savior. They can't get better than that, right? This is the word of God, right? So I'm quoting Matthew chapter 24, right? And I'm quoting from verses 3. So let me just give a background. So here you have the disciples asking Jesus, what shall be the sign of thy second coming and at the end of the world? So that is where we are, brethren. We are in the last days. So Jesus is giving a prophecy of the last days. And he's saying what you have to look out for. So we're not talking about Islam. We're not talking about Hinduism. We're talking about Christianity because we're in a Christian church. But Jesus says something about the Christian church. So here's what he says. Right? I'm reading now verses 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am Christ, and shall deceive many. So you know what he's saying? He's saying many persons will come in his name. You know what I'm doing? They're pointing to the right person, but it's saying the wrong things.
What is it?
They're pointing to Jesus. How many Christian religions we have in this world pointing to Jesus and saying he's the Savior? But what are they saying about it? They're saying he can't save you from sin. Think about where he come to save you from? From hell? From a burning hell? Or where he come to save you from? So are we to say that you're going to go into heaven with sin? He comes to, what does the Bible say in Matthew? That he came to save the people from their sins, brethren. So if you have a Christian religion that teaches that Jesus can't save you from sin, you know that's who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know that's who you're talking about.
Wallace.
You understand? So I'm saying, brethren, it is clear. And you know what Jesus is saying? The disciples were out preaching with Jesus. And while they were preaching, the disciples said, Jesus, look at us, I'm preaching in your name. I know what Jesus said. He said, don't hinder them. If they're speaking the truth, the truth will go forward. You understand? And I'm saying this, brethren. When we go here and we open our mouth, let it be that we say, thus say the Lord. Let it be that Jesus can make you still free. If you're preaching that, you know it's error. And you know we have to speak to persons about that. You understand? It's a very, very serious thing. So I don't know what I have to say that, but I have to say it.
Yes, come on.
Okay, brethren, pleasant Sabbath to all. I just want to give a little contribution on the point. And like Brother Troy, I would use the example of Jesus himself, but from an example perspective, right? So we are looking at John chapter 4. John chapter 4. And we know that John chapter 4 is dealing with the woman at the well. And this woman was a Samaritan woman. And according to verse 9 of John chapter 4, it says, then said the, I'm not going to be whole thing, I just need to touch the relevant parts, right, for the sake of time. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. And then Jesus told her, Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God. See that, brethren? The gift of God is for all of humanity. Whether you're from Japan, you're from Jamaica, you're from Switzerland, wherever you are, the gift of God, which is Christ himself, is made available for all. So he says, if thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that said to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living waters. And we know the story continues, but the part I'm coming to is verse 20. The woman began to say certain things, and then verse 19 says, the woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Because Jesus told the woman, listen, your husband have now, that is not even your husband. So the woman recognized that something superior about Jesus. Then she says this. So the woman is now going to make a claim that her religion is the right religion. Hear what she says. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Because we know the time would come, by the time AD 70, that Jerusalem will be destroyed by Titus and the Roman soldiers. But he comes to this point now. He says in verse 22, you worship you know not what. So here Jesus is addressing this woman, and while she's making a claim that our fathers worship in this mountain, Jesus is saying, woman, you don't know what you're worshiping. And then he's going to tell her this now. He says, you worship, you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So here you have Jesus himself, in this example view here, showing that this woman is making a claim that her religion, they worship in this mountain and so on. And Jesus is telling the woman, woman, you don't know what you worship. You tell somebody that today, they say, oh, it's you feel you are all right. Everybody have God and so on. But here Jesus was showing the woman, listen, if you wanted salvation, the Bible says unto the Jews were committed the oracles and the laws of God and so on. You needed to understand the Jewish system from whom God was working to bring salvation to the other nations. See that, brethren? So likewise with us today. We meet the Catholics, we meet the Pentecostals, the Watchtowers, the Rastafarians, and all of them. And they claim to be serving God too. But when you examine what they teach, you will see their teachings is not in accordance to what the Bible is saying. And so you need to show them, listen, if you want to receive salvation, you need to come to those who understand the Bible properly and will be able to show you the way of salvation. You see, brethren? So don't be worried when people say, you know, like, all alone feel all right. It happened even in the days of Noah. You see, look at this fanatic. He built in a boat on dry land. And that was the right man, brethren. He said, so Noah, you feel you are alone, you and 8 followers are alone, right? And everybody else wrong? Yes. Brethren, we are saying, yes, we are alone by the grace of God is right. Amen. Because we are showing what the Bible is showing. Amen. But we must have the experience of sinfulness, so that when we preach from an experience and not just a head knowledge. Amen. Brethren?
Yes, no. Okay, please.
Something on the immortality of the soul, right? And we know the Bible shows that they know nothing. So, from time to time you see people passed away, and if on Facebook you see people making a quote like "rest in peace." Tell us something about that, where it really come from. Because you don't know anything. So how you can make a statement, rest in peace.
I've been alive still, right? Brother Terrence. No, Brother Terrence first. No, Brother, take into consideration, don't have much time, right? More, say something. Okay, Brother Terrence.
So just for the sake of the visitors and so forth, the sister asked you, how could we make a statement that many of those are them out there, many of the churches, they are of the devil, right? Now, in judging any religion, there's a fundamental thing on which your judgment must be based, and it is doctrine. Right? And I'm reading a text from first text will be 2 John verse 9, right? Right, and it reads, "Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he hath both the Father and the Son." So it says, "Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he hath both the Father and the Son." So we see there's a particular doctrine which is called the doctrine of Christ, and for you to be of God, or for you to have God, you must be abiding in that particular doctrine. But what is the doctrine? We see in 1 John, I'll go as quickly as possible, right? 1 John chapter 3. And you see, this is how we could judge who is of God and who is not, who is of the devil, who is not. 1 John 3, we read from verse 8 to 10. Right? And it reads, "He that committed sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose was the Son of God manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil." So we see we judge him based on doctrine first, but we see an issue of sin comes in. And you say, if you're transgressing and you're committing sin, you're of the devil. So if there's a doctrine that's teaching you that you can be in sin and still be of God, that doctrine is of who? The devil. Amen. He goes on and he says, "But whosoever is born of God does not commit sin." Amen. Reason? "For his seed, which is the word of God, remaineth in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of God." So we see they that are born of God, as in contrast to they that are of the devil, they will be teaching what? They can live free from sin. And how? Through the word of God. Amen. But he goes on now and he says, "In this the children of God are manifested, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God." Right? And earlier, pause it for now. And earlier on, Sister Susanna made the statement of, their claim that they are the successors of Peter, and they will quote that text. Right? I just make one last Excel quote on that point, because they say, Christ, he will build his church, and they say he will build it on Peter. That's what they say. And they say that they are the successors of Peter. But let me see upon what the church of God is based upon. We'll read 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 19. Right, I'll read. So this is what the church of God is based on. And it says, "Nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure, having this seal," or this sign, "The Lord knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity." And upon this, the church of God is built. And any church that doesn't stand on that foundation is not of God.
Okay, so I think enough evidence for it, right? So, brethren, we do not just make claims without backup. so much people was able to support, right? You know, and when we look at this power here, the Roman Catholic Church, they got temporal power for 1,260 days or years, right? Using the day-to-year reckoning. And we saw for that period of time, it kind of like you let them loose, let them do what they have to do, let them show who they are. And dirty deeds of this organization, you can see that that is not a church. You understand? Persecuting the saints of God, right? And Pope fighting against Pope. Who should be the next person to rule? Pope putting his foot on emperor's head and all these kind of things, right? That is not the way that Jesus has taught us, okay? Also, we look at what they say in regards to their spiritual reign. They are the successor of Peter. It is not Peter that the church is based upon. The church is based upon the truths of Jesus Christ, right? They claim to be a substitute Christ, the vicar of Christ. We have no substitute Christ. Christ is Christ is Christ is Christ. But they have nothing to substitute Christ. Okay? They say they have divine powers to rule the church. Okay, so you know my mind between Rome over there. You know my mind? But they have their prayer books written out and they don't tell you how much Hail Mary to say and how much Our Father. You understand? To deal with whatever is your situation. That cannot tell. Right? And they say that all must be subjected to them for salvation. And brethren, just the look of that, when you compare it with our lovely Jesus, you will see that nowhere in the Bible God gave any of the disciples that type of structure they how to govern the church. Okay? That's our next study that we can even go into God personally to see how the church is supposed to run. So therefore, the Holy Spirit is in charge of the church. And when we say that other churches who don't have the doctrine of the Bible, which we have, is not of God, we can back it up with their history, comparing it with the scripture. Right? Look, yesterday Brother met a Muslim. And I'm just going to close off on that. Brother met a Muslim. But I know that Muslim guy was going to confront with us one day because he's practicing one that believes he have to pray 3 times a day and you hear him shout 5 times. Right, 5 times and you hear him shouting out his things and whatnot and things. I said, well, if I was going to be living by this guy, from the time he started praying, I would have put on some song, something about the beginning of preaching, and let him know I'm not really taking on his volume out of his spirit. Nevertheless, Randolph asked him, who is the we in the Quran? He said, the we? He said, yes, the we in the Quran. He said, he don't know. Brothers, poor guy. You understand what I'm saying? Right? That is it. So, here it is now. If you ask us, who is Jesus Christ? And you can answer? Amen. Right? So I don't want to take more contributions because of the fact of time, right? But I am saying, brethren, we know what we preach. We know what we believe. Amen? Amen. Right? So if you are claiming to be the church of God and your own Quran tell you we created the heaven, you understand? And you don't know who is the we, you need to come Tuesday and Saturday at Adventist Church to get your answer. Because we know that we is pluralism, right? It is pluralism. And Rahman is the name of the God. And we know that Allah, what, is just the God. Which one? Rahman. And you know they like to say, they call it Rahman what? Most gracious. Most gracious, you think it don't apply to what they has been saying, because you can see they will be talking about the name of their God, right? Who is Rockman? Who is our false God, right? We want to make a closing remark and just close it with prayer. So whether we had a closing, right? We had a closing. Okay, so Rhonda will just give a closing statement and then we close off with prayer, right?
Let us pray. Loving Father in heaven, we thank you very much for the wonderful fellowship that is found in these truths, dear God, which gives us hope continually that we could face any situation and overcome once we are fully surrendered to the yoke. We thank you for the power of the truth, which have the ability to transform, to change us, and make us into saints, even though we live in a sinful world. Dear God, thank you very much for being love in your divine nature, and may we, dear Father, bring you back in our generation as we prepare with study and with discipline in our characters to putting away all faults from within us, that we can be instruments in your hand, used effectively to water this earth with your precious fruits and bring you back in our generation. This is our commission, this is our quest, this is our purpose and mission statement, to bring you back in our generation. For after all, Yahweh Gadu, the night bread in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Amen.